Hi, everybody. I'm Dale Pinkert. I'm your anchor here in Forex Live Analysis Room. Congratulations to the buyers of Euro yesterday. Had a nice rally. They should have been up 100 pips. Now looks like we're entering a corrective stage here. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone did okay. BOE was a non-event like usual. S&P's trying to recover today. Who's in the house? I see Hi Pipper, Steve, BW, JM, FXB, that's a new handle. Welcome to LAR. And welcome FXB, our community. Hello Abel, Doug, Khalid. Tosin, how are you? Carol, welcome to LAR. Monir, Horace. And welcome, Carol. Everyone doing okay? Was a very good call. I believe it was Alexandros saying 4180 had to be taken out in Canada. It wasn't. We actually are diverging again for the 1,000,000th and 20th time on the 1 hour Canada and the 4. Hi, GW. Happy pips. What's up, everyone? Stock market's in a bit of a recovery here today after the drubbing yesterday. Yes. Congratulations. You and Ricardo called that. Aussie as well, retested last week's lows. Oh, that's right. You were waiting for 76. That was a great call, Pipper. Great call, Alien. I think the Aussie actually could turn here today. So congratulations to both Alien calling the Kiwi collapse and Forex Pipper calling out a short, waiting for the Euro pound to get up to 76 to short it. How's that looking for you, buddy? Nice. Nice call. So I tell you what, have you ever won the Man Award? Pipper, have you ever won? I know Aliens won about 1,000 Man Awards. How about you? Also, there were some people along the Euro yesterday. A lot of great ideas come out of this room all the time. Have you ever won the Man Award, Pipper? You ever win it? Are you short Canada? Okay, well, you just won your first Man Award. Congratulations. I bestow upon Forex Pipper that he or she is the man. Congratulations. This is a life-changing award. You'll lose your head, your account. It will be dead. Who's less leverage? What a trophy. Look at that. Look at that trophy. Is that your speech? Thank you, Dale. Look at that trophy. You better keep this trophy polished in your trophy case. Nice work, Pipper. You're the man. Everyone congratulate Pipper for being the man today, his first man award. Do you have a few words for the community besides thank you, Dale? Perhaps like being part of what being part of LAR has meant to you? I'm fishing for a testimonial. Who else is here today? Tozen's here, Ed Z's here, FXB, Fab DZ, welcome back, JM, BW, hi Josh, hi Ziggy, thanks for the tweet. Sinatra, how are you, my friend? Tico, Adinda, Steve. Tico, any 3-drive setups here? Was Canada another 3-drive setup? Or will it be? You're embarrassed? You're blushing. Just say what Sally Field said. They like me. They really, really like me. They like me. Great interview today. Peter Goodburn. Okay, thanks, Alien. So last time Peter was here, he correctly called the top in the Dixie. And then he said there'd be one more low in gold down towards 1052, which within a few dollars was also correct. So it's going to be great to get an update from Peter, see if his work is still confirming his big picture stuff he presented to us last time. So stick around for Peter Goodburn. Crude going to go down again, under 30. Everyone doing okay? If you're doing okay, give me a Y. Everyone doing all right? Good. Hi, Lowell. How have you been? Yeah, Blake showed something like this. Yeah, he showed it coming out of a trend line. I'm looking for 34 and then 38. Thank you, Steve. Everyone thanks Steve for his nice look at the crude. Trying to turn the corner here. Thank you, Steve. Good for an old guy. Nice look, Steve. Okay. DZ, how are you today? FXB, welcome to LAR. Feel free to share your work. The Grays are in the house. Haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year, the Grays. I hope this is your best year ever in all ways, not just in your account. Happy New Year to you. Beetle is back here with us. Tico, any 3Drive stuff you want to share? You're very welcome. So it feels like Friday to me. After yesterday's crash in the market seemed a little bit exhausted. What I find interesting is all the volatility has moved to equities, and actually the FX arena has been pretty tame. I don't remember. I'm sure you could look up the recording, but I get so much input sometimes, Alien, my head explodes. You know what I mean? So much information coming into this tiny, you know what, I was thinking that too, for at least a rally to 75. Maybe we get a rally to 75 in the guppy, or at least 72. It's going to be a nice short. I don't think we get up to 180. I don't think we fill the gap. Doesn't show a gap here, but even something like this to 176. My head blew up. Yeah, it blew up. It's not good, Steve. Here, I'll show you how my head exploded today. Here's my head. Here's my head exploding. Boom. Fuku. Boom. Don't tell me about a Fibonacci number or a chart. I got too much information. Stop telling me things. Leave me alone. Let me have some peace. That's my head exploding. A live example of it. Ever see that before? No one's ever seen my head explode. Explode like that before. Because I think we're going to 150 long term in the guppy. Still think the euro is good. Yeah, that's what I mean. 150, yeah, we need a rally. Still think the euro is headed up towards 113. Oil's popping now. Yeah. Yeah. Who wants a new car? Okay, here's something from Tico. Thank you, brother. Anyone in here want a new car? Yeah, this is a nice one. What is it? Take a picture. Singapore dollar. Huh. That's really a beauty. Everyone take a screenshot. You're not going to see a more classic looking 3-drive to a top formation with the last momentum reading well under 70. It's an ideal setup. Everyone think Tico? Looks like a short in the US dollar, Singapore dollar. Is that it? Singapore? Everyone thank Tico. That was a great look. Real nice look. Might be worth trading it for the first time with a setup like that. Yeah. Yeah, how do you filter the two out, Zig? How do you filter the two out? Anyone want a new car? Give me a Y if you want a new car. Okay, 19th and 27th for SPX. 14th and 15th for the dollar. Hi, Abel. You have a new handle. Viable Lopez. Good one, Ziggy. Good one. You have a V in front of your name instead of an A. DZ wants an SUV. What, an Escalade? Hi, Izzy. I agree. You want a new car? Why don't you hang out in LAR? Say you rent, wanna buy a house? Hang with us before you click your mouse. And you wanna be a star? You gotta hang out in LAR. If you wanna be a star, show your charts in LAR. 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 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. Everyone doing okay? If you love LAR, give me a Y. You guys love it here? Here's my Y. My life would be empty without you guys. Not really, but you had a lot. Steve's looking for 33 in the crude. Okay, that's up around this high from, I think, yesterday's high. Yesterday's high. BW loves it. Low loves this place. It's kind of like our Cheers. You remember that TV show, Cheers? Everyone knows your handle. Everyone knows your handle. You walk into the room and everyone knows you. Okay. All right, you want my numbers? 34. Nostra Pinker says crude. We'll go to 34 and then 38. 34, then 38. Nostra Pinker. Let me put my glasses on. My Ziggy Nostradamus glasses. The crude oil market, it will bubble up towards the 34 area and pause and then head up to 38. The most unexpected event in the financial markets are that commodity markets rally to rescue the stock market, and a weakening dollar is welcomed relief. That's what I see through my glasses today. So off to the market and I'll start to play Nostra Pinkert. Nostra Pinkert got his glasses from Ziggy. Ziggy. So that's what Nostra Pinkert sees. So now you know where crude is going, everyone. You could just put your orders in and go to the beach. Go to the golf course. Keep your platform turned off. Buy crude with a $1 stop. Looking for 2 and then 6. And I'll see you. I'm in the US, I'm in California. Do you like my British accent? Easy? You like, how's my British accent? Here. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. How's that? Top of the morning to you, DZ. Oh, that's my leprechaun. Top of the morning to you, DZ Bista. Have you come here for your pot of gold? Oh, wouldn't you rather save the economy for a while than get cheap gas? Lol, come on. And if you live in California, it never got cheap anyway. Inshallah. Yeah, let it be. Okay, Josh. How about showing us some of your charts? But not with those glasses, Ziggy. I'm telling you, I've made a lot of Nostrapinker calls that have manifested. Haven't I, guys? Okay, Izzy's got 3 drives. So what do you think of my British accent? Here's Izzy's look at Canada. I just don't know. You count this 1, 2, 3. We've had 2 on the 3rd, but okay. Nice look. Nice look. Under 70. Good hunting on this one, Izzy. I'm pulling for you. If crude pops, you'll get it. It'll work. And doesn't look like you're looking for a ton either. Back down to 280. Nice work. Everyone thank Izzy for his hi, Sirik. Thank you, Izzy. Nice work. Everyone thank Izzy for his Canada look. I'm looking forward to talking to Peter. So when people show their work in here, guys, we thank them. Because there are a lot of people that don't. So when people have the courage to share their charts and their technical views, the minimum we could do is thank them. Don't you agree? Isn't it better to use the magic words? Please, thank you, you're welcome. Means you're validating people. So I get this question from people a lot. They go, Dale, why do you tweet other people's work? You know, why do I tweet other people's work? Why do I bring in outside experts? And I say this, what is the cost to say thanks, validate, and lift others up? That's what I say. Thank you, Sirik. Yeah, should bounce here. Nice. Back to the line maybe, huh? Back to 67.80. That'd be a big trade. Real nice look, Sirik. Everyone thanks Sirik for this harmonic pattern in the Kiwi. It's a bullish shark. Nice, Sirik. Who thinks Sirik has been a great addition to the LAR community? If you think Sirik has been a great addition to our community, give me a why. Here's my why. Glad you found us, buddy. Glad you found LAR. There you go, Abel. You corrected your handle. You're not Vabel, you're Abel. Beautiful. Ziggy's on a roll. Ziggy's on a roll. Yeah. Well, take a look at that harmonic that Sirik just posted. It looks good. Some great ideas already today. If you think there's been at least 5 good ideas in LAR today, give me a Y. I count at least 5 good ideas in the first 30 minutes. So crude's going to try and come off again. Stock market's opening. No big shakes. Everyone doing okay? So I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 5. Thank you everyone for your contributions so far today. And you need to stick around for Peter Goodburn. Peter's one of the best D-Wavers I've ever interviewed. Stick around for Peter. Break, please, Adinda. Thank you. Okay, I'm back, Adinda. Thank you. I'm back, everybody. Pound's really coming out of the hole here. So we almost took out this low, but held it. I think the yen has to hold 117.20 here. Canada stiff. Everyone doing okay? Gold still holding this 1080 level right in here. Izzy's turning into a shooter. The pound? Okay. Yeah, see, we never took out the low. Good shot, Izzy. Nice channel. So Izzy's along the pound looking for some pips here. Everyone wish Izzy well on this trade. We root for everybody in here. We root for everybody. No one in here roots for others to fail. That doesn't happen in here. We're as happy for others as we are for ourselves when they have victories in the market. How about an amen on that? That we support and hope for the best for everyone in here. We don't root like in other chat rooms where people root for others to fail so that their failures don't seem as terrible. That does not happen in here. That's why people feel comfortable. People do it, Doug. Haven't you ever noticed that? It does something psychologically, satisfies them that they're not the only idiot. Okay? As bluntly as I can say it, it makes them feel less stupid. There you go. It's envy, jealousy. I agree with you, Doug. So we have a safe atmosphere in here for people to be vulnerable about showing their work and maybe being wrong, making a call and maybe it's wrong. No one's castigated for it. No one's forced to do it. We're not hoping that people get stopped out. We're hoping that target price orders get filled every day. We're rooting for people's objectives to be achieved on their trade in here every day. That's why Lara's lasting so long and why we have so many people that keep coming back week after week, year after year, month after month, new people, old people returning. I'm just a man, the Grays. I'm not the man, I'm a man. Don't you guys feel like that in here? You feel safe to share your ideas? Because we're not critics in here. We're allies. We're all allies. We're not critics. Yeah, crude still looks heavy. Maybe it is going under 30. Yes. 1 plus 1 equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 11. You like that math? That's a formula here in LAR. Here's the math. It's okay. I'll keep accumulating it. Euro USD 5 minute. 1, 2. You got another one? Yeah. Thanks for the Euro look. Thank you, Sinatra. Oh, it's a 15 minute. Thank you, Sinatra. Thank you, Izzy. Everyone doing okay? It's interesting theory. Although you could understand perhaps the rise in that negative emotion with the wealth disparity in this country. You know, there's people on food stamps and they see people spend millions of dollars on a blink of an eye. You know what I mean? In a blink of an eye, they'll just drop millions of dollars. Like that CEO of GoPro. He went out and bought, I don't know, a $10 million yacht. He bought a $10 million yacht. His stock is getting crushed. And now he's laying off 7% of his employees. Yes, Alan Rickman. A British actor, a great actor. Yeah, it's probably the tax structure. What do you mean you blinked? It is. It's intelligence gathering. It's intelligence gathering. No, it isn't. I don't think it is anywhere. Yeah, there's regulation in other countries in Forex, even in Cyprus. Oh, yeah, I know. You're singing to the choir. Everyone doing okay? Stick around for Peter Goodburn. Yeah, there you go. Another nice look. So that kind of ties in with Siric's harmonic low bullish shark pattern in Kiwi. So we have that bullish harmonic in Kiwi, and we have a 3 drive in Aussie. Maybe even back to the breakdown line. Thank you, Tico. So you see how that adds conviction to a bounce in the commodity currencies. You have Siric using a completely different method, saying the same thing that Tico's saying. You guys get that? So Siric and Tico, different instruments, but they're related, saying the same thing. Saying the same thing. Give me a Y if you see it. So it gives me more conviction about a scenario. When there's two good large traders saying the same thing, coming from a different viewpoint. What's this, Doug? Oh, sorry. Okay. Looks okay to me. Looks like a head and shoulders to me. Thank you, Doug. Yeah. Euro pound. Forex Pipper waited for 76 to short it, so maybe there's one more drive. The only thing I don't like about it was this RSI reading. I would say topping, Mike. Topping. Diverged on the 4 hour. A lot of people are talking 78. Remember when I was talking about buying it at 70 and the weekly projected a breakout over 74 and a half, projected 78? Another look from Siric. It's the same pattern. It's the same pattern as your Kiwi, isn't it? Only this is a bullish Navarro instead of a bullish shark. Is that the difference? They look very similar. Maybe back to the breakdown here. Thank you, Cyric. Nice look. This is what I call a live analysis room, collaborating analysis live as things are unfolding. Thank you, sir. What a room. What a room. LAR is the best room that you'll ever be. LAR is the best room, and it's even really free. So come to LAR and show your charts. We know you're good. Just show your art and come to LAR and learn to trade. I promise you that we won't fade. We'll root for you so you succeed. Your account may grow, you'll be without need. So come to LAR, come to LAR. It's not too far. Just turn on your computer and come to LAR. Thank you, everybody. Come to LAR. S&Ps are sick. All right. Everyone doing okay? We have any new people in here today that we need to say hello to? Let me take a look. Luimo's here. How you doing, brother Luimo? How are you, Horace? Mike, how are you? Josh? Beetle, are you enjoying your time in here? FXB, how are you doing? Mauricio Carrillo, the producer of the FX Video Network. Yeah, it look pretty ugly under there, under 1880. It's right here now. It's here now. There's absolutely nothing to turn it, is there? Better do it soon. They're going to have to turn the crude for this to happen. Everyone doing okay? Yeah. USD CAD. Yep. Yeah. It's accrued again. Everyone doing all right? Stand by for Peter. Got a pretty good crowd in here today. I think we're growing and growing. Yeah, it acts heavy. It may want 30.5. Did I say it for the 100th time? Maybe it wants to take out 30 here. It's $1.50 lower from here. That should give us the S&P breakdown if it's going to happen. Everyone doing all right? Yeah, you see how we could, this could have been 1, 2, and we get a third down here. We'll see. Everyone doing all right? Monir, how are you? Carol, Lowell? Thanks for your tweet, Lowell. Stick around for Peter Goodburn. See what Peter's Twitter handle is again. Okay. Everyone hanging in there? I think it's rubbish for now. I think we could go to $40, maybe 50, and then down to maybe then collapse one more time. I'm going to remind me to ask Peter about his view on crude oil. I don't think we covered crude last time. Okay. Thank you for this look in Canada. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everyone, for all your great work today. Doug's my psychedelic chartist. He's my psychedelic man. Stand by for Peter. Everyone hanging in there? So have I, Doug. We started an hour ago, an hour and 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure what that is UK time, Mike. Welcome to LAR, Mike. Everyone, welcome Mike to LAR. Okay, go ahead. Ask away. I see confusing things every day. If you're only confused today, you're lucky. Well, the Dixie is most heavily weighted in euro. The euro has the heaviest weighting in the Dixie. Glad to serve and glad to have you with us. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I mean, we have come off the highs in the euro. Maybe we're going to get A, B, C to 860. I think the euro's a buy around 860 with stops under 108. Just my best guess, sir. But I don't think the euro's done. And I think the dollar eventually is going to break down. The market needs that too. The stock market definitely needs the dollar to break down. You're very welcome. Everyone doing okay? Fab, how are you? Tosin, what's up? Luimo, you're pretty quiet today. Not like you. Yeah, the pound's still weak. I think the yen's bottomed. I think the yen is going to that's another reason why I think the stock market could recover. We get back over 118. I think we're going to 1980 to 121. If we could just get back above 118.20 in the yen. That's also a big key. Although the stock market sold off, the yen's holding the low from the other day. So I guess we're breaking down in the S&Ps here. Stand by for Peter Goodburn. Yen's got to make a stand here. Just can't stop Canada. So maybe it's a third. Maybe we're going to have a third drive here. I don't know. Can't buy it here. Everyone doing okay? Stick around for a great interview with someone who nailed one more low in gold, and that was the bottom, and so far has the top in the Dixie correct. That would be Peter Goodburn at Elliott Wave underlying WTI. Stand by for this Top Gun. Hope he shows up. Everyone doing okay? Give me a Y if you're doing okay and you enjoyed hanging out with us again today. I think we're getting a pop in the crude here. Crude popping. No, it's not. It's strange that the ETF is. There's Peter. Hello, buddy. So nice to have you back, Peter. I'm ready anytime you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dale. Hello, it's Peter.
Hey, Peter. Happy New Year, Peter.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, same to you. How you doing?
So great to have you back. I appreciate you coming back to talk to us, Peter. And before we get started, I want to acknowledge and congratulate you on two real great calls that you made last time you were with us. You said there'd be one more low in gold to about 352, and that was close enough for government work, so we're about $30 above it, have even been higher. And you talked about that you didn't think there was a possibility that Dixie was topping out. We had that break. We haven't made new highs yet. And just, great calls. Good to have you here. And I hope 2016 is your best year ever in all ways, Peter.
Thanks a lot, Dale. Yeah, nice. Well, great. No, I really appreciate that. Well, you know how tough it is to sort of track the markets and get things right. And, sometimes things just come together. I think there's a lot going to be happening this year. So, I think, from the people you look after and I look after from our side, we have an obligation to really, do as best we can for everybody. And I think there's going to be some exciting stuff this year. I think we have to be patient, like always. But I think if we are, we're going to see some exciting stuff. And that goes for, not just things that you cover specifically like FX, but particularly on the things that I'm looking at right now on the commodity front. I find that these are getting into some very interesting numbers.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up with you. I put out a tweet, Peter. I said the most unexpected event would be that commodities would bail out the stock market, that they would rally and recover and come to the rescue of the S&Ps. Crude oil, I think, is close in my work. That's a market that we didn't cover. And also, I'd like your comment on the worst start in stock market history to a new year. And a lot of people say as January goes, so goes the market. To me, it looks like if we could just generate even a bear market rally in crude back to 34, then 38, maybe 42, that might support the market. And I've never heard more Wall Street analysts come out and say sell everything in the S&Ps at this early of a stage of a sell-off. So it makes it hard for me to want to do it. And plus, I know from a tweet that we exchanged some information that at that time you still thought there was a possibility of one more high in the S&Ps before we went to your 1690 target. Is that still on track despite this sell-off?
Yeah, it is. I'm actually watching today closely because I think today's a reversal day on the S&P. And actually there's a 5-wave pattern down from the secondary highs that we had on the 30th of December. When everybody was sort of, snugged between Christmas celebration and New Year. Right. That's when the S&P made that secondary top, and that was about 2075 on the futures. And we've got a very nice 5-wave declining sequence, which finishes right now. And
what great timing for the interview. So, because I have guys like Harry Denton, and they're saying, you take out this 1880 level, it's a rounding top, head and shoulders top. The big bears are talking, that'll take it to 1600. I think the biggest surprise now would be cleaning out all the bears. I came into this year long volatility, and I actually covered last Friday, a little early before the last plunge on Friday. The VIX peaked, and that's something else. The VIX didn't act the way it should have acted on that decline. It almost took another 100-handle decline in the S&Ps for the VIX to attain the levels that it had 2 months ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm actually very interested in the way that the markets are declining at the moment. One of the things which I picked up on last year was that yeah, a lot of our clients were starting to get interested in the small cap, the Russell 2000. And in 2015, when or in fact, going back to sort of October 2014 was a low then, and it started to move up into 2015's peak.
The Ebola scare.
This is the Russell,
Yes.
yeah, but it
And
did
it
so.
bled all the way down. So are you thinking that it may be the leader for this next move?
Well, it's been a huge underperformer relative to
Right.
the large caps, but during that advance from late 2014 into 2015, it unfolded into a very succinct three price swing event. In Elliott Wave terms, we call that a zigzag, and it sort of pokes its head above the ceiling, the previous high in 2014, just marginally, not much. And when something like that happens, and then the decline occurs, and it goes back below the previous sort of peak, this is part of what we call an expanding flat. It's a correction within a bull trend. But in this case, it's taking 18 months to fulfill its completion, and its final leg is to the downside, and it has to get down in order to complete that pattern. And it's just coming in towards the downside targets that we had last year now. So I'm intrigued to see if that's going to sort of put the brakes on, because if it does, we're going to have we're going to trigger a really big bullish signal for the remainder of this year, which comes back to your question about the January effect and the bearishness that some analysts are pushing out, which is unusual at this stage of declines.
Yeah, there were a few analysts on CNBC. One guy from Societe Generale talking about the S&P under 1,000, and I could see long-term bearish possibilities of that. I was thinking that there could be. You're talking about that we may be close to putting in a low for the year. Isn't it possible that we get a low here, rally to new highs, and then have the failure after we've cleaned out all the bears?
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I think that if we go back to the slightly larger trends that are on the S&P developing up from the October 11 lows, that was the old low at 1074 at that time. We are due for a sort of in that time frame, we are due for a top, because there's a big 5-wave advance from the October 11 lows, which needs to complete. But I always thought that there was this chance of nudging into a slightly higher high, because when we measure up that advance from October 11, we had slightly higher numbers than what was achieved in May last year at 2134. So I thought we might squeeze up a little bit more, and that's why I'm fairly interested in the way that the Russell has underperformed, because it's now getting into sort of some targets which I had last year to complete the correction downwards before resuming up. And the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq, they're all still holding above the August lows, and I think that's the criteria now. If the S&P can put in a low even today, right now as we talk, and start to work its way back up, and we say goodbye to today's lows, we'll put in a secondary low today, and that would be quite bullish for probably another 6 months.
Okay, could take us into mid-year. Are you willing to do a screen share and let us take a look at some of the counts that you're talking about? Picture speaks 1,000 words. You go up to the green box with the arrow.
Let's try and do that. Is that the green arrow screen share? Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
There we go.
And you click that.
Right, here we go. Let's put up. Let's select this monitor here. Start screen share. I think this is the correct one. Now, yeah. At the moment, I've got a euro dollar, but let's come back to some currencies later. Let's have a look at that S&P chart.
You're looking for 112 there too. Okay, it's all right. But go ahead.
Is that something that's familiar to you?
That's my target. It's what I love, Peter, is that when people that have different disciplines, I'm not an E-waver. I'm kind of a classic chartist, RSI guy. And 1273 actually comes in from the daily channel breakdown that we had. That would be a back test of the breakdown. So interesting, 1270, and that's a little bit of a change from the last time we talked. So you're allowing for one, after this C wave rally in the euro, one more low just above parity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can take a quick look. I think the let me just put up. There's a slightly bigger picture here. Yeah, this is the daily where
Okay.
that shows. Now, what happened here was that actually, you know, we're still trading above the March low
Right.
last year, which was a significant downside target on my weekly measurements, going back to the highs in 2008. But actually, it began to change a little bit during this decline here through October and November, because, yeah, actually, it didn't break the lows, but of course the dollar index did. It sort of, if you remember, in December, the dollar index sort of took a few pips outside and above the March highs, and that meant it really has to. The dollar index has to trade into, you know, and above the December high still at some point, and that
Okay,
sort of
so
tipped us off.
102.50 is a long bandied about target by wave guys. So there's certain fibs up there at 102.50. So if the euro's going to trade sub parity here, that would probably take the Dixie up towards 102.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. 102. I think there's even on a weekly chart we've got 103.77 on the Dixie. So it could. I think we're going to get one more drop. It's quite complex, this what I've drawn here, because it's what we've got from 117.12 down to 105.24 is a 3 price swing event. And in order to secure a major low and a directional change, we need 5 waves into a new low, and this is only 3.
Right.
I mean, it's not impossible to drop down immediately and create the effect of a 5-wave pattern down into a lower low from current levels. I actually favor it to trade up within this range. But if it did that, it would disqualify, you know, the next drop would have to sort of unfold into this sort of generic diagonal wedge-shaped pattern that I've drawn. That doesn't matter too much, but yeah, anywhere between 98, 102, anywhere down there, that's reversal territory on the bigger picture. So, you know, I'm pretty confident that we're still going to get that change, but December's move delays it.
It's interesting that you point that should this unfold, and I know it's not in cement, but it looks like it's April, June, and lately in the market, I've noticed that a strong dollar has been constructed for the last year or so for dollar-denominated assets, including equities. So this is implying that if we do get a low in the S&Ps here shortly, that perhaps they rally into that, like you said, 5-6 month rally as the dollar index rallies for one more high and the euro drops for one more low. Does that fit into your puzzle at all?
Yeah, I think it does. You know, I think that's a very viable situation. Yeah, I quite like the way that the currencies are setting up. We're getting a lot of inquiry from our institutional clients about the emerging market currencies at the moment. I mean, you've been seeing headline news since January about the renminbi, the yuan, Chinese yuan, sort of coming under further pressure against the dollar, and the, you know, attempts to try and stem the weakness of it. You know, I think that may continue to weaken, though, until we get this general dollar turnaround, as you say, between maybe April and June, you know, around parity for the euro. So that's likely, but there's a couple of things which interest me. Do you ever look at the Brazilian real?
Go ahead.
Well, we can have a look at that.
So we know that the Brazilian real has been under a lot of pressure, like all the EMs, and you know, they're a commodity-based economy. A lot of grains, a lot of mining in Brazil. I don't know, Petrobras on the verge of bankruptcy. So interesting that you're looking for that. That kind of ties in with the dollar being close to a top too, doesn't it?
Yeah, because what interested me about this chart was that it's evolved up from 2011 in a 5-wave pattern. Now, hey, look at the date here. If I put my cursor down here, can you see that?
Yes.
That's July 11. And
Right.
it's not a coincidence that we get, emerging market currencies, but we're very high at that time, and basically it's because of their commodity element. Now, of course, what other commodities topped out in 2011? Well, practically everything. I mean, we had copper in February 11.
Yes.
We had silver
Gold.
in April 11. Yeah, gold was August, September time. And and the other date in April, which was really important, was the emerging market index, the MSCI. But coming back to this Brazilian real, it obviously topped out, or the dollar bottomed equivalent to it, in July. So it's within that sort of time frame where we saw commodities roll over and move downwards. But you see, we're looking generally at commodities bottoming out pretty soon. And that seems to be typifying this 5-wave evolution of movements up on the real. And we had this peak already in September last year, and it's been unable to break that. You can see that the dollar's moving up after an initial drop down. But, that, I think, could end up remaining below that peak and rolling down eventually as soon as the euro's bottomed. And that's when we get the really aggressive sort of dollar selling, and this thing starts to dive. It's not quite ready yet, but I would be watching this because it gives us a bit of an idea of where the commodities are bottoming, the timing of that, and it also tells us that, we're seeing a waning sort of effect of strength in the dollar. It's basically in the last stages, it's decelerating, even though it's still moving up generally against some currencies. Its deceleration is getting quite obvious when we make comparisons to some of these currencies too.
Okay. So the linchpin and the most important commodity based upon the junk bond market here and what's happening internationally with Saudi Arabia and what's happening with a very tight correlation of how S&Ps are trading. Every time crude fades, they sell the S&Ps. A lot of people are talking about targets that would really be amazing. You have people talking about $10 oil now, Peter, and I could see maybe 25, but when you start to get these kind of numbers, people talking one handle in the crude, to me, it looks to me like we're approaching some type of low there as well. For at least rip your face off bear market rally, what's the wave count look like for you?
Well, this is a monthly chart of crude, and I tend to think that we're going to be heading into a low pretty soon now. I mean, you mentioned 25. We've got something between 25 and 27 as a downside target, so that's not very far away now. And and if I just flip to the next chart, you'll see how we derive that. We've actually taken the financial crisis sell-off for oil from 147 like this. So we measure down into this December 08 low, and we just simply subtract that same measurement from the reaction high at 114.83, and you can see that's where we derive this 25-26 target. So it's not got very much to do. I mean, so far in January alone, just in these last 2 weeks, we've gone from what, 38, here we are, 38.40 to yesterday, 29.93. Yeah. So we dropped $8. I mean, if it drops another 3 or 4, that's less than what we've done already in the first 2 weeks. So that gives you an idea how quickly it could be attained.
Interesting.
And then I think we could be starting to look at some major event change. And what I like to do in my analysis is that I like to take something related to a particular chart, whether it be a currency, commodity, or whatever, and take something that it's positively correlated to, something that's completely not 100% correlated. So we get different patterns, but confirming the same concept. Now, what I'm going to show you next relates to crude oil because it's an energy ETF. You might be familiar with it, or at least some of your listeners will be, I'm sure. And it's called the IXC, iShares Global Energy Index.
Okay.
And it's an ETF. Now,
Right.
this has got over 200 energy companies in it, including the big guys, you know, sort of Exxon, Chevron, all those guys. But what we're looking at now is a particular event where a major low is forming. Let me just highlight my tool, writing tool.
Which also should be supportive of the market, because even though with market cap shrinking dramatically in oil issues, I think it used to be 12% of the S&P, it's still 6%.
Is it? Mm.
Yeah.
That's interesting
So,
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
50% shrinkage of 50% shrinkage of market cap during this bear market.
Yeah, it's been severe, very severe. Well, I mean, if you just look at the numbers and work out the percentages, they're big, aren't they? It's halved, really. But this particular pattern here, for if anybody's listening and they're familiar with Elliott Wave, they'll probably know what I'm drawing here. This is what's known as an expanding flat, one of the most common patterns that you'll see in any markets over different time intervals. It's composed of three main price swings. So first of all, you have wave A, setting the initial price extreme. And then you get B, which moves outside the price extreme briefly. We've got some measurements there, some fib ratios, which we use to measure where the reversal should occur. And then we get down in the third sequence in 5 price swings. And we've got measurements for that too. But basically, it's telling us we're coming very close to completion now, very close. The implications are huge, because what we've drawn here in red is this expanding flat. It's a counter trend pattern, which is moving within the prevailing uptrend. That means once it's completed, we're going to get, I think, something like this developing over the next 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. Maybe, yeah, something like that, which is huge. Okay. So we're going to go from 24 to 60. You know,
a triple. It's a triple on an ETF. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're looking at. I think we're staring at that. So coming back to your remarks at the beginning, where you said, you know, some of these analysts are talking about $10 oil and you know, stock markets collapsing in a secular bear trend. I'm struggling with that too at the moment, like you.
And any update on gold with your revised look at the dollar, and the euro may make a new low and the dollar make a new high? It probably would be very bullish if that happened without gold taking out the 1050 level that you talked about, 1052. But is there a possibility of another low in gold under 1050?
Well, it might be just. By the way, the S&P future is trading at 1907 now, so we're already making 15 points.
Yeah, I'm taking it as a day trade now.
Yeah, me too.
Looks I just waited for you to come on the air. I bought it, and now I'm out. So
yeah, I can turn the lights up a bit higher now. That's great.
Yeah. So gold.
Let's have a look at gold. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been. Yeah, it's fascinating to see gold. We put out a report every night on gold for some of our clients, and it's a bit tricky, I have to say, because actually, if we look at the slightly bigger picture first, which is basically here, this is a big wedge-shaped decline from the August 13 high. In theory, when we got down to 1046, I think we had a target just a couple of bucks above it, basis these measurements here, and we've subsequently.
That was a great call. Great call.
Yeah, it was nice. The only disappointment really was the fact that it didn't evolve up afterwards into 5 price swings, which would be a necessary outcome to really secure an uptrend. So I must admit I'm tentatively long, but not a lot long.
I got
the
it.
market.
So we've really, it's been kind of a corrected pattern instead of impulsive off that low, unless we get another push up towards 1140 or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I've actually, it's about 11:20, 25 I put out last night. If we were able to it's a bit of a short-term chart actually, but where is it here? Let me just this one here. I thought, well, we actually went into the market and bought a little bit last night, just to see. We've got a stop below 1078. We might get triggered this afternoon if the S&P continues to push up, but if we were to go into a lower low, I don't think it's going to stay long down there.
Okay.
Because
do you have a number? Do you have a number if that does unfold?
1016.
Will it stay above 1,000, or maybe cause some psychological panic and take out the big round number of 1,000?
Well, we've got a 1016 like this number shows.
Okay.
I mean, you could always trip through slightly if someone presses the panic button. You know that does occur, and you can
Right.
you must always build that in as a factor. But yeah, if it does take out the lows, I would be looking to add around 1016. The most important thing probably from precious metals is that we want to, if this does make a lower low, if it does, then we want to see some divergence with some of the miners. And last time we talked together,
yeah, we had major divergence. Well, you know why? I didn't even get long the shares because I kept waiting for them to get cheaper with the last break in gold, and they never did.
Yeah, I specifically like Newmont Mining. This is it here, and I love this chart because the pattern's great. This is another expanding. This is likely to go down too much anymore, and it's just a question of getting a general turn in oil. If we can get oil down to 25.5, tick that box. Let's get most of the dollar peak out the way. These things are going to fly this year. If you're inclined to preempt a change in direction, that's okay, as long as you don't expose yourself with too much leverage. If you buy Newmont Mining a little bit now, it doesn't hurt because basically you're not really trading these leverage. I mean, so it's okay. And even if you did see,
isn't it okay to build a position? Sometimes my best trades, Peter, happen when I'm early and in an accumulation or distribution phase of building a position that, if you hit it right on the button, great, you have a trade on. But I never go all in or all out on a position. I usually piece in. So it's actually a little bit advantageous, even though it, might cause you to say, oh, I should have waited. To have a toe in the water so you pay attention and continue to stay with the scenario, have conviction, and consider if you're buying a market and it gets cheaper and it's within your parameters, that thank you for giving me time to build a position.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great exercise. I mean, I do the same, and I think that's fine as long as you don't put yourself under psychological pressure. I mean, if you do such a thing and you're leveraging and you're sweating and not sleeping at nights, this is not good. This is definitely not good. So you have to use and then you've got to say, well, then, if I did such an exercise, I need a point where I'm wrong. Where do I decide I'm wrong and I have to close out? Where don't I sort of add to a position? Well, to a large extent, no matter what discipline you're using, there's not always a de facto level. Sometimes we have to use intuition. I would say that for those that that do trust their intuition, use that, because that's also helpful if you're inclined to sort of average positioning like you've just described.
Okay. So you think we could wrap it up with the S&P count that you were looking at, and perhaps maybe would that show the Russell and how it all could tie together? Because, really, the FX arena, it's interesting to me, Peter. All the volatility has shifted over to equities, and really the FX markets have been quiet.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they have. Yeah, it's really noticeable. I
hope the central bankers aren't going to take the game away from us and just take all the volatility out. I doubt it, because I don't have that much confidence. I think the emperor has no clothes with all these central banks, especially China. Because, I used to bring up, Peter, I want your thoughts on it. The Fed has been around since 1913. So, you know, it's got over a 100-year track record, and it's made many missteps along the way. Whereas the Chinese are just like college students. They've been at it for 20 years, so even more likely to make mistakes than the Fed.
Yeah, I think that's true. And even when you do have experience, like the Bank of Japan, I mean, how many times before 2011 were they sort of intervening to try and weaken the yen, and failed really? It was strengthening pre 2011 dramatically, and they were, you know, getting it wrong a lot of the time. So yeah, I think that you know, that's a condition. I personally think that the Fed will have to change tactics at some point, not quite yet. Now, this is the S&P chart that we updated and sent out to our subscribers last night, fun enough. And we said, look, this S&P, if it can hold above the August lows, it has a chance of having, you know, the rest of the year up. And we'll get up to and break the May 15 high. And the response today that we're seeing right now as we talk is fantastic to see. We actually calculated, you know, around 1887 on the cash. We got to, yeah, I think there's a brief low this morning at 78.93. You can't really notice too much on this scale, but it's now 1915 and it's doing very well. And I think if we can push on, it's going to all be change.
I tell you what, Peter, another great interview. I want to tell you this, and I'm not patronizing you. You're one of the best guests I've ever had. I've interviewed hundreds of people, and your style and the views that I get help me. I really encourage people to subscribe to you, because just one good idea from Peter will more than compensate for any subscription price. And I've interviewed at least 10, 15, 20 different e-waivers, and your work is top shelf, elite, and I really appreciate you coming and sharing all this for free with our community. And you've helped me with my trading from the first time that I've met you, and I want to thank you and validate the great work that you do, Peter.
Well, thanks, Dale. I mean, that's really, I can't, you know, I'm speechless basically, but I really appreciate it. And I really enjoy our chats actually, and let's hope for more in the future. Let's get together, because I really enjoy talking to you and picking through the markets. And yeah, it jives good, and I just hope that everybody listening, you know, makes good use of what we've done today.
Okay, well, you know, I love to flaunt it, so I'll be getting this out to people, and I think that this video again is very edifying, with a lot of major events and a lot of fear and worry out there, and you know, people saying sell everything and, you know, just go to cash. And this is a much more tempered type of viewpoint for people to consider before they panic, and pointing out the great opportunities that lie ahead this year in the most depressed commodity market in my career.
Yeah, exciting stuff, really exciting stuff. So yeah, let's basically get together sometime soon, Dale. I'd really look forward to that.
Okay, well, ride the wave with Peter Goodburn at Elliott Wave _WTI. Have a great weekend, Peter. Thank you so much for being with us again today, my trading warrior brother.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Dale. Best of luck to you.
All right. Good hunting, buddy. Everyone thank Peter, please, for a great presentation on, we covered, I believe, every asset class that matters. So, I don't just throw out compliments like that every day. You guys have seen me interview a lot of people, and I highly respect Peter's work. I'm so glad I found him on Twitter. And if I were you, I'd consider being a subscriber and keeping in touch with Peter, because 2016 is going to be a pretty dramatic year. Some major opportunities, and he would be an excellent part of your intelligence gathering, in my opinion. If you agree with me, give me a Y. So I have another bromance brewing. You know, I have a bromance with Harry Dent and Martin Armstrong. And now I'm even more conflicted than ever because now I have a bromance going with Peter Goodburn. And we got the pop in crude. I think Pinkert said that the crude and the market would rally together, that the most unexpected event was going to be the commodity markets bailing out the stock market. And S&Ps have turned dramatically too. So I hope that the analysis here, now Peter's looking for 25, I could see it, but perhaps we get 34, 37 first before the next big decline into the crude lows at the 25 level. So who had a good time today? A bromance? That's kind of that's kind of when men like each other. I am heterosexual, but if you really like someone and you're a guy and they're a guy and you know you enjoy being around them or talking to them, happy, that is a bromance. So it's a combination of romance, but you put a B in front you put a B in front of the R and that equals bromance. You get it now? All right. Okay. Well, well, I guarantee you, Happy, you hang around me and you're going to hear you're going to hear a lot of things that you've never heard before. Yeah, that's right. So, besides great ideas for the markets, don't you think we have a lot of fun in here? I mean, I laugh every day. I don't know about you guys, but if you think LAR is fun, and I know we're not here to, you know, just have a good time and have fun. We're here to be serious about how we could buy and sell and pull pips out of the market. But I have to say that for me, having fun is almost as important as winning trades. We do have a lot of fun in here. If you agree with me, give me a Y. And I'm having fun because my crude position's finally bailing me out. If Khalid is here, Decadic, looks pretty good, man. We're getting a nice little turn. Dow's up 235. Beetle, you having fun today? So I'm looking for 34 up here, and then maybe 37, 38. Is the gold participating? No, gold's down, crude's up. Tico, I think Tico is a great addition to LAR. If you agree with me. Oh, you were hiding in the corner, Decadic. I didn't see you, Khalid. If you think Tico has been a great addition to the LAR community, give me a Y. There's mine. So did Canada come off with this? Did Canada come off at all? Yeah, there's Canada. Nice trade, Izzy. Izzy caught the short Canada. Everyone congratulate Izzy. He's got a nice scalp going in the Canadian dollar. Congrats, Izzy. If you're still in the house, everyone congratulate Izzy, who had the courage to short the Canadian, and it's probably not his first attempt. Nice work, Izzy. So here's my wrap-up, guys. Canada's finally going to come off as we're getting the pop in the crude, the turn in the crude that I've been talking about for weeks. Pretty significant rally. We have to get all back over 33, but I'm looking for 34 and then 37 in the weeks ahead. I tweeted out that the most unexpected event would be that the commodity market would bail out equities. And that's what's happening here today. Euro, I still remain positive on. Still, I agree with Peter that there's one more push up towards 113. Perhaps we have to take out stops first and head towards 107.60 again. Japanese yen, I said you have to be long. Yeah, that the Japanese yen is heading up towards the 120 level. That's in Forex 2. So those are my calls. The next one's yours. I want to thank everyone, and I mean everyone, for your great contributions today, for hanging out with me, making my day rewarding and fun at the same time. I want to thank Adinda for her great work, getting our guests in the room in time for us to do these interviews. I want to thank Abel for his loyalty and friendship. I love you, buddy. I thank BW. I want to thank Cyric for all his great looks today. He called this rally in Kiwi. I want to thank Beetle, Sinatra, Tico for his great 3-drive looks today. Forex Stop Hunter, I want to thank. Happy, I want to thank, who now knows what a bromance is. Thank you, Adinda. Thank you, Steve. Pipper won the Man Award for his great call in Europound. I want to thank Steve and Doug and Fab and DZ and Wemo, Tosin, Alien for all of his great contributions over the last several months. Alien's been a great contributor to our community. Monir, thank Mauricio, Abel, JM, FXB, welcome to LAR, Ed ZFX, FX Street Video, Josh, Ziggy, my brother, and Horace. Have a great day, everyone. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Money comes and goes. Time is gone forever. Make it count. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the wrap-up of the week. Adios, everyone. Peace.